Okay. Alright. So as we continue Spyro 2, I want to mention something because this is going to go on something. So, some of you are probably aware of the fact that the Ruminations have officially been canceled. For 5 years, we have been phasing out the Ruminations bit by bit for many reasons. I'm not going to go over them right now. However, that has been a slow transitionary process. A lot of people wanted the Ruminations to continue existing. So I decided to go ahead and, as a courtesy, as a kindness thing, to kind of keep doing Ruminations and then start kind of drifting into the post-stream Ruminations. And now finally we're at the point where we're just kind of officially cutting it off, right? Here's the thing. Obviously that time will then go to other things. But one of the other things that can go to is the highlight reel, because the highlight reels were kind of always intended to fill the same slot as the Ruminations. It's just the practicality of making that happen was a problem, and a problem that wasn't really solved until arguably right now. If you're watching this on YouTube, that is to say if you're watching this on the original channel and not the primary channel, then we have succeeded at successfully translating the highlight reel into the Rumination slot. So, yay! But for those of you in chat, and I'll be mentioning this periodically. Oh, I already did that. I'm mentioning this periodically as we go. There's this whole new system we've got. So what I want you to do is I want you to think about any moment you consider to be worthy of clipping. Now, I'll be discussing this a few times, but this is the important part. A lot of people think highlights or clips need to be all memes or jokes, and those people are very wrong. Memes and jokes are fine, but this is primarily an analytical show. So if we ever dig into something or discuss the behind-the-scenes something, or maybe say something that's actually worthwhile or whatever, I want you in chat to give us the clip emote. Now, if I set it up correctly, which I do believe I have, whether you are a subscriber or not, you should have access to the clip emote. It should be lore clip. And I'm hoping that someone will start trying it any second now so I can see it. But anyways, I see that. I'll be able to judge for myself, is this something worth clipping? And then I've got this whole other thing, which took, hey, there it is, it works. I've got this whole other thing, which took me way too much time this morning to set up, where I can just hit this, and we hypothetically now have a clip, a timestamp, more specifically, so I can then just pull up the VOD manually, pull out that clip, now that I have a timestamp pointing at the spot worthy of being grabbed. I'm actually going to double check right now, just to make sure that that timestamp, yep, there it is, right there. 2 minutes and 35 seconds. So, yeah, that's working. So that's the system going forward. Obviously, that's going to take a while. I'm going to be repeating this a lot. I'm going to have to come up with a really, really short version of that whole speech. But that's the new system. Hope you enjoy. I mean, nobody actually reads those posts anyways. Hazardous. No, seriously, have you ever noticed how those posts only show up in certain manners and don't actually show up? Like, if you just pull up YouTube, for example, on your desktop. Because, you know, YouTube's terrible. Nevertheless, I probably will put together a short video to throw up on YouTube. To be like, hey, rooms be done, yo. Or I'll just use the very clip I just made 5 seconds ago. Make it a short. Oh, God. I hate shorts so much. Ironically, that is, however, probably the best way to make sure as many people see it as possible. And that irritates me.
Hey, Dragon. I hear you're pretty tough. I bet my cousin Glug you wouldn't be able to make it through the Badlands without getting singed.
Okay. 30 minutes short. I've got it. What I'll do is I'll have a tidbit of me just sitting there being like reading, you know? Every now and then you can just hear the paper change. For hours.
Spyro, our village is being overrun by lava lizards. Can you get rid of them before they eat my little buddies? I'll lower the bridge for you so you can get over there.
Sure, sure.
Well done, Grasshopper. Take this shiny, thing we found to aid your journey.
I do love me some onions.
Uh-oh. It looks like more Liz...
Okay, now the bad one. We had the tutorial. Now time for the screw you. Oh god. I got him. Means I'm probably gonna fail, because... Nope, yeah. Wow, that's actually gruesome. Oh, he spits him out. Oh, that's just... After he chews him up, he spits him out. Thank you. Little Billy, I will jot that down for runner's choice. Much appreciated. Let's try that again. Okay.
Thank you for helping us against Spyro. You deserve another shiny thing. I was going to use it as a nightlight.
Technically, yes, but functionally, no, Mr. Red. Oh, he spits out his bones. That's much worse. That's so much worse, Space Cadet. I'm gonna pretend I never heard that. I can't believe he just spits the guy out. That's crazy. Completely whole and with no harm done to him whatsoever. Good morning, Blades of All. Let's get used to that. Part of the problem I have is there's no feedback, so I'm not actually sure if I hit the button or not. So I need to be aware of that and not, you know, like double hit the button or anything like that. I'll get used to it. I mean, we literally just set up that system this morning. In fact, if I'm a little out of it, it's because I woke up early and spent my entire morning working on that. Why do we always work with, like, the ugly people instead of the cute people? Or the cool people? It's always the uglies. We here at Spyro are pro-ugly. To my knowledge, no, Mr. Red. That's a good point. Do you see anybody else with sunglasses around here? I don't. Good morning, taco hater. I just want you to know, an imperial judge has seen your case about hating tacos. I'm afraid it's not good. There can only be one punishment for such a heinous crime. I'm sorry, Eva, we're going to have to force you to try and eat an actually good taco. Del Taco is Taco Bell. In fact, arguably, Del Taco has worse... Del Taco does a couple things better than Taco Bell, and mostly worse than Taco Bell. If given a choice, I would actually take Taco Bell over Del Taco. Now, the exception to that is that thing that I can't think of right now. It's like they have a specific mega burrito at Del Taco, which is pretty good. Well, yeah, nobody likes Taco Bell. You know, that's obvious. Except for me, obviously. I should get Taco Bell today. I don't do fast food option, but when I do Taco Bell. And when I say option, I mean often, because I can talk. And get knocked into the lava after being knocked down. Yep, we're gonna strap Evo down. Be like, have a taco. She's like, no! Never! But eventually the hunger will overtake her. She will have no choice. In the depths of madness and desperation, she will finally eat the taco. Yes. And she'll do it of her own free will. Evil, evil, evil. Hang on, I need to go murder Ross, too. Tell you what. I'll go easy on you, Evo. No tacos. If you murder Ross for me.
I'm so sad. Those pesky lava toads have stolen all my friend's bones. If you help me put them back together again, it'd sure be more fun.
Sure. No, Evo, no! It was a trick! I was always going to force feed you tacos. What in the world is that emote, Django? Looks like Viconia. Which worries me. Damn it. No! Listen, nobody actually likes Viconia, okay? So far... Let me get it. Timestamp there. So far, one of the things I've noticed is that... Let's talk level design. So, in a 2D platformer, most level design is... I mean, it's complicated as hell, but it's easy to inform, it's easy to discuss. A level is about navigating through the level in order to deal with obstacles, traps, fun, enemies, bosses, platforms, puzzles, etc. That's the level. Cool. In 3D platformers, the rules change a little bit. 3D platformers, pretty much to a T, all involve more about navigation and routing than they do about simply going from point A to point B. Very, 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 very few 3D platformers have the 2D platformer mindset. Why is this relevant? Because it completely changes how we review them from a level design perspective. So, first we have to kill the cats, obviously. Because you can't kill cats in a 2D platform. That's actually against the law. The reason this is so relevant is when it comes to reviewing 3D platformers, one of the more relevant data points is how much flow there is to the style and design of the level. How much does it inform itself? How much does it encourage its own pathing and routing and exploration? All those fun things. If it doesn't, then it's probably failed as a level. The reason I bring this up here specifically isn't just because it's, if you're wondering why the levels haven't been rating quite the same as, say, a Mega Man game. The other big reason is because I honestly feel like most of the Spyro levels don't do a lot when it comes to level design. It's not like they do things wrong. Very rarely do Spyro levels do things wrong, but for the most part, they're simply there. It feels like they hadn't really figured out what 3D level design was yet, probably because they hadn't. To use a direct example here, you'll notice that so far, obviously, several of the Spyro 2 levels have actually not been reviewing as well as the Spyro 1 levels. Part of this is because the Spyro 2 levels feel like they're not designed, or at the very least they're not designed as much or as well. Instead, it's more like, here's a bunch of stuff you can do in any order, have fun. That's neat and all, that's your sandbox, but there's nothing there design-wise. By contrast, a lot of the Spyro 1 levels had a very decent and intended flow to them. You were supposed to do this, and then go over here and get this, and then you'd see this thing over here, which led you over here, and then there'd be this thing, which would give you this idea over here, and maybe a hint of this thing over here, and so forth and so on. Flow. Like I said, big, nice, smooth flow. And so far, Spyro 2 has been lacking that a little bit. Not to the point of being bad, at least not yet. But I will say this. I find myself wondering if at least part of that is because of the fact that they wanted to have the built-in backtracking to the game. Backtracking can absolutely work with flow, as anybody who's played any good Metroid game can actually tell you. But it isn't. Instead, it's just, here's a bunch of stuff, some of which you can't get yet. So, that's my thoughts on 3D platforming in a nutshell. 5 hours later. YouTuber has incredibly wrong opinion about Spyro. Worth it. Not worth it. There, so far, near as I can tell, is no visual storytelling in this game whatsoever, which is why I haven't given it any positives. Same with the previous game. The brickwork, however, I haven't decided yet. I don't feel as impressed so far. And that's sort of how that system works. But it'll definitely get some brickwork positives, I'm just not sure how many. That's another thing we need to force Evo to do. Eat an actual Maui onion at some point. There was a what, huh? I think Evo's seeing things, which is a common occurrence if you're slowly losing your mind from lack of tacos. Have you had problems with seeing things? Maybe visions of doom or gloom, doubt or despair. Remember that tacos will be able to cure you of all such ills. Tacos, they're what's good for you. I look like this all the time. This is cool. Hi, Alex. I'm sorry you have to deal with that nonsense for Voik. If I could figure out where it is, Evo, sure. I never actually saw it. Secretly, Evo really was seeing things. There really is no thing there. Funny. As a certified, many doctors agree. Tacos are delicious. Remember, 100% of people who eat tacos enjoy life. No, that's not fair. Hang on, let me think about it for a second. What? Oh, Jesus! Wasn't ready. 100% of doctors agree. Don't take a lava bath. And eat tacos. Alright, so we need to round up Evo and Robostal, murder them both horrifically. Like, just grab their arms and rip them off, and then beat them to death with their own arms. And then, like, waggle their arms around. Like twirlers, you know? You light the end on fire, and then you make patterns if you'd go really quick in the air. That's what we're gonna do. It's gonna be wonderful. Thank you, Sakage. Always appreciate. I will jot that down for God of War 5. Oh man, last time I had good, last time I had good food trucks in general was years ago, but it also happened to be the last time I had good tacos from a food truck, and oh, that was so good. Okay, see, now Robostal is just trolling. There's no way you can hate ice cream. That's ridiculous. Nobody's sane. Wait a minute. That's it! Back when I was going to Gen Con one year, I think it was the taco truck, was so crammed we never actually ended up getting tacos. Because there was no point. It was always so busy. It was something like an hour wait to just get some tacos. Yeah, no one can ever possibly hate anime. That's insanity. Just dropping some heresy today, my goodness. See, I'm not insane, I'm crazy. Oh, I had a perfect analogy for that recently. What was that? Oh god, what was that? It was something I had actually done. And the comment that ran through my head was, see, a normal person looks at it and says, wow, that's risky and dangerous. The crazy person says, wow, that's risky and dangerous, and then does it. Successfully. And that's me. Hi. It depends on which one you mean, for there are 3 games with that name, Triaxia. I am going to need you to be slightly more specific. So I'm still missing a bone. 15 gems and a thinger. And there's apparently gems back this way? Okay. Good afternoon. Good evening. So, in order, would I recommend the original Neverwinter Nights? No. Would I recommend the primary Neverwinter Nights? Yes. And would I recommend the recent Neverwinter? No. Any questions? since there's gems over there. Oh, the difference between Twilight and Starlight is one of them's a wizard, the other one's a sorcerer. Have you never played Dungeons and Dragons, Ross? Oh, wow. That... Oh yeah, speaking of which, I don't see this trilobite still. I never did see it, so you have to give me some directions here. It's over here. If you just want to get me killed, Evo, you can just say so. It's okay. I ain't gonna judge. Oh wow, 5 years? I can think of tons of good games that came out in the last 5 years. Including Cyber Shadow and Raid Shadow Legends. I should probably not troll when I'm saying that. I can legitimately think of several good games that have come out in the last 5 years. Although I need a list to see their actual release dates, because I tend to not think about it in that way. So, Evo, I hate to break it to you, but I think you're crazy. Oh, never mind. You're probably talking about that scorch mark over there on the wall, aren't you? Well, alright. Hang on. I've been called out. Let me count every good game I've played. Let's see here. So we'll start by using this list, and we'll move on to the other list. So let's see, how many of these were new games? There's Resident Evil 2 Remake, obviously. We'll start with that. Crosscode would qualify. Outer Worlds would qualify. Cyberpunk, for all its flaws, would still qualify. I believe DOS 2 came out within the last 5 years. Not sure about this. Let's see here. Mega Man 11 came out in the last 5 years. So did Metroid Dread. We already talked about that. I believe Mario Odyssey fits in that range, too. Could be wrong about that. I know Surviving Mars did, and if Mario Odyssey did, then A Hat in Time did, too, because those two came out, like, right next to each other. The Modern Warfare Remake was astonishingly good. Titanfall 2, I'm not sure if that sits in the range, but that's a damn good game. Plague Tale Innocence, while we're on the subject. Valhalla, while we're on the subject. I have no idea when these games came out as far as specific dates, so I'm just kind of guessing, by the way. Cyber Shadow, I already mentioned that one. Time Spinner, that's pretty recent. Skipping over Elden Ring. Head On, counting the expansion, came out recently. Mortal Kombat 11, while we're on the subject. Code Vein, I'm not sure when that one came out. I feel like that was PS3 era, so never mind on that. I'm also not sure when Hades came out. I know Wasteland 3 fits in that range, though. Grounded, which just came out a few weeks ago. And that is just going back a couple of years. So hang on. Now we got to move down here. Look at the other list. Ahem. Then we have the Trials of Mana remake. Shadow of War. There's Mario Odyssey. I don't remember when Yakuza 0 came out. That might be under the line. Celeste, not sure about that either. God of War 4, pretty sure that qualifies. Battletech would qualify. Kingdom Come Deliverance, pretty sure that qualifies. Detroit Become Human. All 3 Bloodstained games. Subnautica 2 I haven't played yet, but I imagine it's pretty good. 20XDX, I forget when exactly that came out. But 30XDX definitely counts. Spider-Man on the PS4. Kirby and the Forgotten Land, while I'm on the subject. Kingdom Hearts 3. Devil May Cry 5. 2 Point Hospital. 2 Point College. I don't think that one qualifies. I don't think that one qualifies either. I suppose I could mention several Pokemon games, but let's just say every Pokemon game that's came out in the last 5 years. Fire Emblem 3 Houses, Dragon Quest Builders 2. I'm not going to count MMO stuff, because that's just a whole other thing. Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima, while we're on the subject. I forget when RimWorld came out. I don't know if that qualifies. Doom 5 definitely qualifies. I don't remember if Doom 4 was that long ago, though. Luigi's Mansion 3 definitely qualifies. FF7R1. I suppose Persona 5 Royal would count. And, I think that's it. There you go. There's a couple. Thank you, Aquas. I will put that towards the WoW big block. Give me a minute here. Meanwhile, on YouTube, someone's like, hang on! One of the games you mentioned came out 5 years and 3 months ago! Cancelled forever. Why do I hate Wasteland 2? Because it's a boring, irritating, boring mess of boring, Triaxia. In fact, the biggest reason why we put down Wasteland 2 and I have refused to ever go back and replay it is because it was literally one of the first factory worker syndrome games we played on camera. Combat was an arduous, aggravating chore. I probably haven't played them, Mike Romano. Yeah, those are literally only the games I've played for the show. Because those are the only games I've played for the most part. Let's see. So you say to go there. The question is, have I even heard of it, Mike Romano? 30. Pretty sure. Ah, Railway Empire. I have heard of that. And not just because you added it to the list. Holy crap. Oh yeah, while we're on that, I suppose Astro Colony probably qualifies. Although that game's not even out yet. So if anybody knows what I'm supposed to do next, I'll take a hint, because I'm missing a thing and 15 points, and I do not know where to go. And for once, the dragonfly is really not helping. Like, it keeps pointing in between the level, but there's nothing there. Yeah, I know there's a guy with a bone. I have no idea where or how. Oh, well, okay. So, I have discovered where to go.
Thank you, Spyro. Now I can put my friend back together. Please take this as a token of my appreciation. A fairy left it with me a little while ago.
So, that's creepy as hell. Yeah, we're gonna leave that immediately. That's not necromancy, that's just a crime against nature. There we go. I'd say 100%, but I haven't gotten the talisman yet. That's kind of strange.
Oh, if you see any of my little buddies getting torched,
I also just noticed I haven't unlocked the end of stage yet, which is kind of strange. Whatever. So Trihexia says, hey Lore, what's your opinion on stupid, greedy companies that are greedy and stupid? On the one hand, they are greedy and stupid. But on the other hand, they are stupid and greedy.
Excellent. You made it through the Badlands. I knew I'd win that bet. My cousin Gronk is a fool to bet against a dragon. Take this talisman for helping me out.
I sure saw this. If I see one I like, I'll say something, Mr. Red.
Spyro, the ice wizards have imprisoned our leader, Shaman Tuck. Can you help us rescue him? It is urgent. He has our tickets to tonight's hockey game in Colossus Valley.
Actually, there's one that sticks out in my memory, and it's when the statue thing walks up and it's like, "Roar," and they're like, ah! And he just wants to roast a marshmallow with him. That would have been Idle Springs, I believe. So, we got any hockey fans here? Trick question. Nobody actually likes hockey.
If you get on the catapult, we'll help you across the chasm.
Well, the first thing they did, Evo, Because they took all the dried tears of all the people who thought they liked hockey. They kind of, like, purified them and condensed them. Smeared it on the walls. And the lies inherent in the tears kind of, like, acidically tore away at the rock until that's actually an indent. It's not actually painting. And so you could see it there as kind of a thing. And they different severities, different depths of lies change the color. It's fantastic. How many of you ever played... actually, I don't know the name of it. It was a hockey game on the NES. And you could play hockey, but it had a very specific feature. And that feature was you could deliberately run into someone else, and it would start another mini game where you had to, like, mash the buttons. And there was, like, A was high attack and B was low attack. You'd have to beat the crap out of the other guy to win the encounter. Guess what me and my friends always did.
Watch! We'll help you climb this wall up ahead.
Was that Blades of Steel? It's been a long time, and I don't own it anymore, unfortunately. I don't think I do. Oh, dude, political boxing. I love it. I can't believe you remember that idea, though. Is there death water in the frozen land? Actually, I guess Mario 64 did that too, but whatever. Oh god. So I used to play the crap out of Double Dribble. Not because it was a good game. It actually kind of sucked as a game. But because it was the only game that my uncle owned on the NES that I actually liked. And when I say liked, imagine the giant asterisks around that. Because the other games he had were Tetris. I can't remember the name of it. It's I want to say it's Rad Racer. Pretty sure it's Rad Racer, which is terrible. And Shadowgate, which I think I've told a story about before, but basically it scared the ever-living crap out of me. So the option was Double Dribble. That was it.
Hello there, Spyro. I could arrange for you to cross this bridge for this small. Thank you, Spyro. Now I can buy that condo in Hurricos I've been wanting for so long. Go ahead across the bridge.
How does he control that? I believe I still own Double Dribble. Or perhaps more accurately, I believe Double Dribble is one of the games I picked up when I was doing my collection finishing upping. So there's a pretty good chance that, yes, Double Dribble would be part of the NES blog. We have too much tood to kill him. There's little I enjoy in life as much as burning things. Especially spiders, so... I really wish those pop-ups would go away. This is going to be a good time to remind your viewers to follow you, so they can catch your next stream. Piss off, Twitch!
You might be able to help us get rid of them.
Sure. Well, I need to kill 2 more things. Damn it. Yeah, it's not like following will actually notify people that I'm streaming. Because Twitch is like, nah. Get good, scrub. Just have his window open all the time. Or maybe be aware of the fact that he has a static schedule that never really changes. How do you think I started doing that, by the way? I mean, obviously having a schedule is nice and works well, but one of the original reasons why we started having a static streaming schedule was because Twitch was so bad about notifying people that I'm streaming. That's like, alright, look, I will be streaming at these times. The end. Oh my god, you shouldn't have to go through any ads. You're a subscriber. That's supposed to be one of the benefits of being a subscriber, is no ads. Jesus Christ, Twitch. Stop being terrible.
I lost my pet snow leopard. I was busy fishing, and when I turned around, he was gone. I hope George didn't get eaten by the Draclets.
I could go for a nice snow leopard right now. How do I... Die! Die, you monster! Every now and again I wonder, what would my life be like if Twitch still existed but wasn't terrible? Why are you going this way? Stop going this way. I've decided I hate this cat. You follow me now? Listen, tigers purr. It doesn't make them any less deserving of horrific death. That way we can have delicious tiger steak.
You found George! I'm so glad he's safe. I'll be sure to pay more attention to him from now on. All I have with me is this round, shiny thing I caught while I was fishing. You could have it if you like.
That's another thing I'd like to try someday. Tiger. And like lion and leopard, and you get the idea. Just all kinds of predator meat. One of these days I need to eat orangutan.
Thanks, Spyro. Just hold tight for a second, and look out below!
That's all part of the plan, Space Cadet. If I could get people complaining about things that don't matter,
You think those
I could
guys
just
could
deal
have
with the
got me
rest of
out
it.
here without rolling a 2-ton snowball onto my head? Here, take this crystal. I traded some hockey tickets for it.
The levels also feel more condensed than before. Like, it's kind of strange. They feel more Mario 64 and less Mario Sunshine. I don't know if that's a byproduct of the remaster or not, but it doesn't matter since this is the game we're reviewing. Anybody play the original have that vibe?
You have saved us all from a grisly fate. Please accept this orb as a small token of our thanks.
Also, I was half expecting the snow leopard to just be Hunter. Just like, what? I just want fish, man. What's the issue here? And that's that one. Yeah, like, the brickwork isn't as good, the level design isn't as good, and the levels feel more contained. It's not bad. It's just, I don't think it's going to score as well overall.
Okay, Spyro. Looks like we got us a bit of a situation here. The breeze builders have got us pinned down, and we've been waiting for a volunteer to blow up their munitions building. Looks like you're it.
So, I like your painted wooden metal. Well, we all know Spyro's fate was one day to be used in war, as all dragons are. Yep, it's the dragons versus the bugs. And by dragons, I mean birds. It's the birds. It's the birds versus the bugs. The dragon is just versus everything. Why does that eagle have aviate? Never mind. Look at him. He's got a flight vest, too.
Dang cannon just ain't working for me. Do you think you can blast that bird, soldier? Jump up here and give it a try.
Now you, of course, have bottle cap medals, because See, that would just be weird, Plagan. Who would turn money into a metal? Oh god, so we've already seen... We've already seen Waterworld, now we're seeing Fallout. Hello, Melkor. I do hope your Thanksgiving was good. Because if it wasn't... Favorite level in 1? Oh, Jesus, I don't know. One of the cloud ones sticks out of my mind the most. Don't ask me the name of it, because I couldn't possibly tell you. There's actually 2 levels that I believe got individual positives over in Spyro 1. Almost said Fallout 1. So, those 2. You know the other weird thing? And I will freely admit I don't like this as much. Even though this should just be a preference thing. Like I guess I just said. This game feels narratively a lot more like a kid's cartoon in what I would consider to be a bad way. Whereas the first one felt more like an adventure. Like a platformer. In a good way. I'm being stuck here for some reason last time. We'll see what we think of 3 when we get to that, tonally. So I should probably summarize what I just said. The first game had a vibe to it of, what I call it like Mario, because it was. You were going out to do this big adventure and seeing these new places and how the worlds worked and all that fun stuff. And that was the tone. It was the Final Fantasy III of the Spyro series. This game feels more like this happens to be another episode of some random kids cartoon. And I don't like to use that phrase because I feel like that phrase is horrifically misused. But I think in this case it's actually apt. Yeah, like the stage transitions are a perfect example of that, but even just the nature of it, or how Hunter operates, or how the levels are designed with these... Like each episode feels like... How do I explain this? It feels like each stage is a 20-second clip of an episode expanded into a stage. Or if I could explain this a different way, you know how a lot of the actual kids' cartoons games will take an episode concept and take one random joke from that episode and turn it into a whole stage? Like, if you told me there was a Spyro cartoon where there was the great war between the birds and the bugs, I would believe you, because that's exactly the vibe I get from it.
My name is Little Bo Peep, and I've lost my cowlicks. With these battles going on all of the time, they keep running away. Can you help me get them back into my pen?
Sure. That's possible. Maybe this is why I remember this particular segment. Having said all that, I'm not trying to sound negative. It's just comparing and contrasting the two games. That's all. So, this is going to sound weird, and I'm probably just stupid and terrible and ugly and dumb and worthless and awful, and deserve to die. But I feel like the first game had a little bit better usage of palette. This game doesn't exactly have bad usage of palette, but most of the levels have been semi-generic grays and greens, like, say, the level we're in right now, or Utah, which is what I like to call that particular auburn palette of pseudo, not-quite-desertiness. again, this is just like what I was just saying. It's not like the palette usage or the color usage is bad. It just doesn't make... It's not as visually distinct as the first games. This is one of the reasons we have the 1, 2, 3 system with regards to the review, because we can give something a positive and give something else more of a positive for something that it does better. That's the whole point of the system. The irony is I think this game still might actually end up scoring better than 1, just because the cavalcade of negatives actually drags 1 down. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm not sure yet. Come on, birdie. You got nothing coming. Utah is very pretty, I agree. Now, the people in Utah, ugh, worst. How's that going to go? Oh, he went up. Okay. Also, what keeps meowing? Is that the song?
Thanks, Spyro. Here's a little something for, you know, the effort.
You mean for the success? Because I did it, you little snot.
There are 2 more cowlicks out there somewhere, but I haven't seen them in days.
All right. Okay. In that case, let's see. I should remember where that is, so we'll go grab that first. Then we'll talk about tacos some more. Soft shell tacos or hard shell tacos? All the way back to the beginning, really? Hang on, I got a bonus question for you. What's the difference between a soft-shelled taco and a burrito? I mean, the jars would be a lot more interesting if they followed a pattern of flow. I hate to keep bringing up gameplay flow, but... the 2 I've seen so far have both been very backtracky, and not in a good way. I'm kidding, Evo, I'm kidding. You don't have to. least until Lorcon. Then you're screwed, because I'm going to cook tacos. You're going to have to try one of my tacos. I don't agree with that, Narset, but that's okay. It's okay for me to be wrong. Negative to the lore runner. So, an idea I had a while ago when I was, let's say, a little more salty about the YouTube comments than I am nowadays, was to set up a thing where viewers could vote to give negatives or positives to me for the review, you know, for being a reviewer. I'm glad I decided not to do that, because I don't think I could take that, honestly. No, yeah, I'm joking with you, Narset. Like, hence my earlier point. If I meant that, well, you know. You would not be surprised. There would be no surprise. There's a rainbow over there. You would not be surprised how many negatives I get. Oh my god. You won't believe negative number 10. Well, that worked. I'm down here now, but it worked. That's a good question. Where are they getting the refills from? Go England! Death to the Brits. Or, I mean, the Yanks. That's what they call them.
What light from yonder window breaks? That window up there, dummy! The professor said he was working on a way to help me get back with Juliet, but I haven't seen him in a long time.
Oh my god. And of course she's a frickin' bird, because of course she is. I hope these two decide not to commit suicide. Thanks for that, YouTube, by the way. I knew it, Evo. I knew it. Of course they did. I mean, I shouldn't say it that way, but because I haven't actually followed non-British football in a very long time. The last I did, Spain was doing legit. No, no, no. Okay, okay. Don't go over the ledge. No, no. Go that way. Stay on that side. Be back with you in a minute. The worst British football team? I had a great answer for that, and of course I can't think of it now. Hang on, hang on. Let's see what the internet says. I'm actually curious here. Worst British football club. What do you got? Leicester? What? What? Although, apparently, they've actually tracked the stats on us. Bradford City, Ipswich Town, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Watford, Sunderland, and Derby County. I've never even heard of any of those. I mean, this is a better story than Romeo and Juliet by default, because Romeo and Juliet is a terrible story. But I do actually kind of agree with Melkor. I think this game might score a little bit better in some aspects of story than the first game. Even though it will score worse in some aspects of story than the first game. I don't know. I hate everything. What? Romeo and Juliet is a better love story than Twilight by virtue of not being a love story. I think the game just gave it to me. I think the game was just like, yeah, sure, here. It's true, Narset. Romeo and Juliet is not a love story. It's not even me trying to get some meme cred, or not meme cred, sorry, some Shakespearean cred or anything. That's just fact. Okay. Like, the only reason Romeo and Juliet tends to piss me off is because of how much people tend to think it's a love story. And then use that as, like, inspiration for their particular stories. Usually a love story. It's like, no. See, I wanted to say Horatio, but I knew that was wrong. One of those O names. A lot of O names. Well. Okay. I don't like Shakespeare. Let me just start with that. I prefer other forms of Older English, and I find Shakespeare to be kind of, pulp, I think is actually the word I'm going for here. You know those cheap, 50-cent romance novels? Yeah, that's Shakespeare. Now, I kind of mean that as an insult, but I mostly just mean that as a statement of fact. One moment. I'm glad you had a good dinner! Exclamation mark. I had a good visit, comma, and a good stream, period. Have to keep getting all those gems, after all! Exclamation mark. It really does not like the word gems. It has yet to get that right. Anyway, sorry for getting off topic. Point being, now, the thing is, I don't really dislike Shakespeare that much. What is going on with this nonsense? It's more like what irritates me about Shakespeare is how many people hold him up as the greatest writer of all time and the standard against which all other written works in English should be measured against. That irritates the snot out of me. Now, that's mostly from school, I should admit. I have encountered a lot less of that since I am no longer in school. But oh my god, I cannot tell you how much I got sick of that. Because even back when I was actually studying literature full-time, or half-time, however you want to think of that, I still violently disagreed with that. And having spent the last, decade or so of my life analyzing fiction for a living, I absolutely don't agree with that anymore. But Shakespeare's actually fine, really. It's pulp. It's a nice little kind of a thing. Hey, he didn't get stuck this time. Jesus. Physics, how do they work? Having said that, I would probably go with A Midsummer Night's Dream or one of the political bits. Like Richard the Fifth, I think? Oh gosh, which one was that? They all blur for me in terms of names.
Well, I am impressed. You got all 7 talents for me. Here's a fair reward.
Not a big fan of Hamlet. I knew Hamlet, Horatio. A play of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy. Hamlet was not one to mock its own... I'm gonna stop. Macbeth, also not a huge fan. Like I said, the political thrillers tended to work for me more. And I just can't think of any of their names because their names all blur for me. Oh god, what is his stupid name? What's the name of the best Shakespeare character?
Spyro, my boy, I've got a magic bean, seed for you in here somewhere. Ah, here it is. Why don't you plant it in the ground and see what grows?
Sure. You know, nobody's actually given me the character I'm listening for, or wanting to get the name of. I can't think of his name, and that's what's bugging me. Best Shakespeare character. Falstaff. That's who I'm thinking of. So I've never actually played Falstaff, but I almost always played the person alongside Falstaff. Like Prince, for example, whose name I don't remember because I'm terrible at names in general. Who's Falstaff? I don't remember Falstaff having a dick joke, but then again, I wouldn't have picked up on that as a kid anyways. Hi, Vigilant. Hello, Monobrand. Oh, God. Thank you, Ciela. Always appreciate. I will jot that down for the after years. Well, you probably didn't get the Alien ending act, so I'm not sure. Which one did you get? Alien's the wrong word. I don't know what to call that. Okay, we now have 3 of these stupid things. Coexistence, that's the ending I was trying to say. It's been a little bit. But instead, Ect has revealed his true nature as a taco hater. Now, I want you to picture a picture. I want you to imagine a picture of me. Bunch of tacos behind me. The taco army. I'm in some, like, generically military uniform. Very stern face, beard. Join the tacos. Listen, if I can't be some vaguely military dictator of a taco state, what the hell can I be? The more I'm saying this out loud, the more I think there needs to be some kind of food nation story. So, there's the burritoists, the tacoists, obviously. The Breakfast Club all united under one banner a while ago, and they have a long-standing alliance with the desserts. Nobody really understands that one.
Well done, my boy. Here are 2 more seeds to get you the rest of the way. Oh, and take this with you if you don't mind. It's been cluttering up my pockets.
No, see, here's the thing. The Pizza Nation, to outsiders, seems unified and is this gigantic, super powerful nation of unmitigated doom. But anybody who knows the Pizza Nation is in a non-stop, constant state of civil war, as the different pizza toppings cannot agree with each other. Thank you, Lord Harriman. Much appreciated. And I'll put that towards something as soon as I figure out what you're putting it towards. You have to give me a minute. Towards the Ratchet and Clank. Totally big. Did you do a celebration thing yesterday for that? Question mark. Meanwhile, there's the Italian bloc, right? The Italian bloc have just a tremendous amount of political influence. Because nobody actually dislikes the Italian bloc. At least not openly. Well, the brunch section used to be one unified power. Unfortunately, they couldn't agree on some of the specifics, and certain interest groups wouldn't agree with other interest groups, so now there's actually a lot of different forces that make up the brunch section. Now, the pastries, they were the ones who actually brokered the peace between the breakfasts and the desserts. Now, here's the really messed up part. All of that was done at the behest... And this is the really messed up part. Because that would be a good clip moment. Let's see what Juliet has to say.
Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? Oh, there's Romeo. You can have this. I don't need it anymore.
Now go, eat him. You know you want to. I mean, he's really ugly. Thank you, Epic. Always appreciate. Look, he's ugly, the cow. What do you want from me? You get a card when you become ugly. And the card just says, you can call other people ugly. It's okay. It's cool. And there's a guy with sunglasses going like this. And yeah, he's really rich. Like, whew, he's loaded. So, like, not that I'm judging. It's just, you know. Hey, Qualitas. Thank you for the sub. I will jot that down for near replicant. Okay. So I still need to figure out how to get over there, which I never did figure out. What? I bowed and everything, Epic. You put it towards Yakuza Kiwami too. I said thank you, and you didn't. Well, Epic doesn't watch my stream. Confirmed. It's probably because of all the times I make fun of the Epic Gaming Store and how absolutely terrible it is. Because it's a garbage front end. And honestly, kind of a garbage back end too. It's just garbage top to bottom. That's what do you want from me? This is 50, but that's probably enough. I don't know what that is, Trahexia. I don't know how to pronounce that. I don't know how to spell that. I don't know what that's from. You're speaking gibberish, sir. Yes, Loner. Yes, I would.
Wow! What an explosion! It sure is a good thing I had my helmet on. Oh yeah, the Colonel wanted me to give this talisman to you if you got through the Breeze Builder defenses. Good job, soldier. Sure.
There we go. I'm not sure what the meat substitutes would be like. Oh no, I've got it. The meat substitutes are actually aliens. And the meat substitute is them showing up and being like, oh yeah, no, we're totally from your planet too. Look, we're meat. Okay, I didn't actually mean to skip the outro cutscene there. But thank you, Walker, for skipping the outro cutscene. There we go. Why do we keep murdering people in this game? So my automatic inclination would be to finish Disco Elysium, because I prefer to finish things rather than start new things. Not Space Ghost, sorry, Ect. So that's my advice, Disco Elysium. Failing that, if you decide not to, I'd say System Shock 2.
Please excuse the mess, Spyro. We are currently suffering from a land blubber infestation. First, they put out the fires in our boilers, and now they've shut down our ship, too. If you could stoke up the fires under the boilers, I'm sure you could make your way to the ship. The steam from the boilers will activate our highly advanced machinery.
So, I never did actually explain why Angmar could go suck a lemon, did I? I'll give you a hint. It's entirely on the gameplay axis. So, Triaxie asks, are these people transmuted gems? No, it's actually much, much worse than that. So you happen to notice how every time we kill someone, we gain one of their souls? You caught that, right? Well, if we kill enough people's souls, we can activate certain magical archways. So, that also means we're probably actually, you know, killing people this time around, instead of gems that have been transmuted into people. Also notice we are now on the side of the birds fighting against the bugs. I don't know if you caught that. Honestly, with how dragons tend to be in most fiction, I'm surprised there aren't more mercenary dragons. You're probably thinking I've covered System Shock 2 because I've done a rumination on it, and I've discussed it many times, and I've done a review on System Shock 1 and Bioshock. And I've done a video on Bioshock Infinite and Bioshock 1. But for some strange reason, we have never actually covered System Shock 2. It's okay. That game, would not score well on the gameplay axis. That's the nicest way I could put that. Oh no, there's an interesting idea. So you play the dragon, but you also kind of have to decide, do you park your airship with all your gold somewhere? You know, set it up with defenses, spend some of your hard-earned winnings on defending your horde. Or do you try to keep it with you, but that also means that if anything happens to you, you know, it's immediately vulnerable. Or the fact that you have to defend it while also accomplishing your objectives. Oh, did I do that? I guess I did. Yeah, oh, no, trust me, System Shock 2 is a very janky game. In fact, I'm pretty sure System Shock 1 would literally be easier for you to get running than System Shock 2. I know this because it was for me. That's why I call it the streamability gap. Games before that are fine.
Those landlubbers have littered these metal spike mines all over the harbor. If you can clear them out, I'll give you this orb I found in a clam yesterday.
Well, you could also pull that thing that... Oh, what was that MMO? There was an old MMO where you could play as a dragon, and you didn't have levels in the traditional sense of the word. What you had was a horde. And the larger your horde, the higher your stats were. So... it was a cool idea. Not a great game. Not a great MMO. Now die, chicken beak. Correct. Act. You don't need to play System Shock 1 to get into 2, any more than you need to play 2 to get into Bio, any more you need to play Bio in order to get to Infinite, any more than you need to play Infinite in order to get into Thief 1. Super disconnected. Horizons, that was it. And one of yay old A MMOs, which I tried kind of all of them. That's right, I even tried Anarchy Online. If you've even heard of that. Which you haven't, don't lie to me. This isn't what I would normally call internal continuity, but I do like the narrative thread? What I would qualify that as. I guess that is a form of internal continuity. It's just really, really, really light compared to what I usually call that. Like, each region clearly has its own stuff going on, its own recurring conflicts and crap, which you are then getting in the way of because you want to, you know, plunder and loot all the stuff.
Spyro, here's that orb I promised. Sorry if it still has clam juice on it.
It's okay, I love clam juice. See? I cannot believe that didn't take off on me. So far, this is the worst level in the game by far. I was leaning towards 3 negatives, but then I realized we can actually give more than 3 negatives to a single stage. We've got the itemization, which is 3 negatives. We've got the level, the actual enemy placement, enemy design, 3 negatives. Let's see, what else? I have not been watching the World Cup, no. I do kind of hope Cotter goes to hell, but that's unrelated. Hi, Inosians. Having asked that, I do obviously follow football a little bit, and so I have put my money, so to speak, on Spain. Front of the ship there. See, I've always considered myself fortunate. Most of the old games that I saw that had bad graphics are so old that, I mean, of course they had bad graphics, you know what I mean? So by the time I got to the PS1 era, I was already in high school, or actually I think that was college. But either way. Well on my way to being capable of remembering what these games actually look like. Listen, I'm not going to say that FIFA was bribed, because instead I'm going to say that FIFA was, or not that they were bribed. No, they were bribed. Instead I'm going to say that FIFA were bribed. Because they totally freaking were. Anyone who thinks otherwise is honestly just kind of kidding themselves. It's okay, FIFA have gone on record, this is years ago, with the fact that they approve of countries with dictators because it makes it easier for them to operate. That's not a joke, you can look that up. You know what? I believe it, Yura. Yeah, speaking of someone who actually is quite a bit into football, what the crap?
My machinery is broken, and the gears I need to repair it are scattered all over the tracks. Can you hop on that trolley?
Alright, so this is when we give this level a negative right here. Because holy crap. I remember hating this particular challenge. So we'll see how much I hate it this time. Already hating it a little bit. A little bit of hatred, just a little bit. Just a hint of hatred.
Trouble with the truck.
Alright, nope, infinite hatred. Infinite hatred. Because you gotta start over each time. From scratch. And each time he says, trouble with the trolley.
Trouble with the trolley, eh?
Alright, so I want everyone in chat to kill me. Thank you, Peasinator. I will jot that down for Resident Evil 5. Thank you very much. So, earlier on, Melkor, you said, I like this level, watch lore, hate it. When you said that, I cringed a little bit inside because I have bad memories of this level. But as I was going through the level, I couldn't really tell you why, because the level was fine. Like, I was enjoying it for the most part. And then I got up here. And I realized, and I remembered, why I hate this level. Yeah, it was straight up PTSD. I was just like, oh yeah.
Trouble with the truck.
I think some of my least memorable levels in Donkey Kong Country Returns, specifically, the minecart levels.
Trouble with...
If it at least, like, saved your progress a little bit, this wouldn't bother me nearly as much. But you know me and having to restart with no mid-mission checkpoints. That's never really something I enjoy. So I found the shoot button. So that's helping a little bit.
Trouble with the trolley, eh? Trouble with the trolley, eh? What?
You can shoot the TNT barrels if you have the reflexes to see them coming, which I obviously did not. Or have it memorized, which I also obviously do not. Apparently you cannot shoot the non-barrels. I didn't know that. That's the distinction. You have to jump over one and shoot the other. That's why it's random. I was wondering this whole time.
with the trolley, eh? Well... was great work, Spyro. Now I can start fixing my machine.
So as much as I'd love to pile negatives on that, I actually agree that that is a double negative situation. One is just kind of in general.
Trouble with the trolley, eh?
And that's the other reason. Like, the total lack of mid-mission checkpoints is not exactly uncommon. Still not good. But the fact that he has to say that goddamn line every single time is literally just rubbing it in. It's just, hey, trouble with the trolley, eh? Having trouble with this extremely easy thing? What's wrong with you? Like, it's mockery. And I'm not a big fan of mockery in game design. I'm not sure, Dakota. I've been thinking about it. Yes, I do remember that hazardous. Ah, wouldn't that be wonderful right now? What's the idea? Damn. What am I missing here? Bunch of gems. That it in there. Of course they rely on a traditional judicial system. So, are you a mage? If you are, then obviously your word has a little bit more weight than everyone else's because you understand how the world works better. That's just logic, really. It's funny you bring that up, Hazardous. I've talked about this before in game design. If you're going to bring up an irritant in a game, you really want to have a payoff to that irritant. And you don't want to make it wait too long, and the longer you make the player wait, the better the payoff needs to be. All of that's kind of... How did I miss those? Oh, that was from the thing I broke earlier. Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, trouble with the trolley, and then you can just flame him. It doesn't do anything, it just flames him. Ugh. Correct, Evo. Unless they should. Well, I mean, Hazardous already posited the good payoff for that. Trouble with the... Ah! You know, Dakota, I just want you to know, like, verbally, that I'm totally stealing your mercenary dragon idea. Because I think that actually fits the way I've designed dragons in my setting. The elemental dragons. There's not that very many of them. And there are several of them that would totally have the mindset of just roaming around, you know, selling out their services to whomever. For whatever. A little pricey, but, you know...
Thanks for getting our ship fired up, Spyro. Now we can proceed with our counterattack on Zephyr. Please take this talisman as a token of our gratitude.
That's a good question, Evo. Wants are easy to decide on, though. You know what? I like that, Hazardous. Maybe you could make him stop saying it by roasting him once. That would... I would honestly remove that second negative if they allowed something like that. Like I said, kids show. That's another thing. Like, we think of a mercenary as someone who's constantly on the job, probably because we're thinking of people being a mercenary. But a dragon could probably do, like, one job a year and be fine. You know? Yeah, big old dragon just being like, hi! Yeah, so, hey. And meanwhile, this other guy is just behind him trying to cook him, and he's like, would you quit it? Okay, so, let's jot down some thoughts here. What would a normal person buy with money, Evo? Services and goods. Now, elemental dragons, excuse me, I should just call them dragons. Dragons, of course, need to eat, but if all you ever spent money on was food, your life would be pretty vacuous, no offense. Think about all the things you spend money on in your life. How many of those things are absolutely necessary for survival? Now, the answer to that's going to vary based on individuals and circumstance, but my point being, it's not that hard to imagine that even a dragon would have a good use for money. After all, there are plenty of things to buy. Sorry, I'm checking something real quick here. If we count rent, most of my expenses are for survival. If we remove rent from the equation, that number shrinks substantially. Magic. More specifically, elemental energy, Evo. Just like most magical beings. And elementals, for that matter. Alright, so... I mean, you could put a dragon in charge of a bank, especially since banks don't exist to make money, but they exist to serve as financial institutions. I mean, energy can be bought and sold, Evo. As I've said many times, even though the Empire has infinite energy, it has limited throughput. That's kind of duh, right? You can't infinitely have infinite energy everywhere, so there's a logical limitation to how much can be generated, how much can be transported, how much can be used. So, energy is a commodity like anything else. Energy credits. I think I agree with Melkor. I've been thinking about this that whole level. I think I'm actually just going to straight up give the internal continuity positive. I wasn't expecting to. But then I started thinking about it, and the last world had internal continuity as well. So even though it's really mild, like to the point of being background lore, it's still there, and it's still enjoyable, and it still adds to the narrative, plus the story. Okay, sorry. I knew it, Mr. Red. You're secretly just doing one of the worst stages. I mean, I warned you, and you were like, nah, it'll be fine, Lauren. I'm like, yeah, okay. Have fun. Ah, yes, the desert one. So I actually wrote up the full internal infrastructure of the hegemony at one point in Evo. I don't remember it right now by memory.
Hello, Spyro. My brother Handel and I have been sent here to blow up this castle, but Handel got caught by these evil soldiers, and I'm stuck out here. If you can open the doors that block the way, I can find Handel, and we can complete a super secret spy mission.
What is wrong with this place? Don't answer that question. Also, we're still on path to 100%ing, somehow. Alright, Melkor, so I'm going to tell you this in advance this time. I also have a strong memory of this stage. I don't know why. Hopefully it's not like a similar, oh god, this terrible stage, like last time. Although, in fairness, last stage was fine, it was just that stupid minigame which could go to hell. You know? It makes sense, Hestus. One thing I do remember off the top of my head is, so the hegemony is kind of divided into departments. But what I mean by that is, let's just make up some examples. So we've got the department of trees and sand and tiles and slingshots. Okay? These are made up examples. They don't literally have it. They don't know. Stop. Stop thinking of that story, Eddie. Quit it. Why are they so eager to attack me? So the way it works is, rather than that department operating as an independent entity, that department will have a representative in each layer of government. So, you know, you've got local, and then you've got planetary, and then you've got system, and then you've got sector, and so forth and so on. So you'd have, for example, the governor of a planet. That governor's immediate cabinet would consist of leaders from, you know, the trees, the desert, and the slingshots. Make sense? And so that's how they tend to divvy up the bureaucracy. One of the differences between that and the Empire is the hegemony is much more hierarchical, since all of those ultimately report to someone, who reports to someone, etc., etc. Yes, it's safe. Please open the gate. Wahaha. It was not safe at all. I am here to kill you. And your two-legged camels. Okay, I get why their heads are weird, because the sun. Why do the camels only have 2 legs, Hazardous? Correct, Evo. The Empire doesn't even have a single unified leader, whereas the hegemony has what you'd call a traditional emperor. Listen, Hazardous, I'm gonna need you to give me an explanation in 5 seconds for why these people have 2 legs instead of 4. Maybe they were breeding ostriches with... Oh no, that's it. The sun baked them so much, it fried their genetics. I like it. I like it. There you go. let's see what's going on over here. Oh, all the time, Evo. The two are rivals, after all. But if you're asking about outright war, no, they're not that stupid.
The monkeys have escaped from the Avalar Zoo, and I've been sent here to catch them. But they keep throwing coconuts at me, and it hurts. Can you help me out?
Have you ever held a coconut? Because that would do a little bit more than hurt. Oh yeah, the entire... oh god, what was it called? The Anurian Border Wars, which lasted several years, was nothing but a proxy conflict. Thank you, Ciela. Always. Once Hazardous lets me know, I will jot that down.
Great! Just charge the tree before I get hit. I'll be able to catch the monkeys as they fall. Follow me! Ow! Great! Just
You know what? Bragwin's right. Yep, this is why Hunter's so stupid. I'm not even gonna make the obvious monkeys in a barrel joke.
Ow!
I don't know this. No nuke equivalent. Doesn't work like that. There's no Godzilla threshold. Firewatch, you got it. 1 second, please. Done. Now rise!
Ow!
Aye. Huh. That actually counted. I don't think it would. I mean, hegemony may be an antagonistic power, but that doesn't make them stupid, act.
Thanks for your help, Spyro. Please, take this. One of the monkeys had it.
That sucked. Okay. Now that I can concentrate on something else for a second. Most nations have diplomatic meetings, negotiations, trade agreements, and all that. Yes, Evo. Obviously, this hegemony is not exception to that, which is why I just say most nations. Or let me give you an analogy instead, Evo. Picture a barrel full of monkeys. And inside this barrel, there's a single coconut. Now, all the monkeys want to eat that coconut, but one of them decides, whose name is Carwelis. This one Carwelis monkey decides, all right, look, I'm going to take this coconut, and you can't do anything about it. So several of the other monkeys decide, you know what, we're going to gang up on Carwelis, we're going to kill him. So they kill Carwelis, and Carwelis is now dead. Now, as a direct consequence of that horrific, horrific murder inside this barrel, now everything stinks. And everyone's like, oh god, we've just made everything worse by virtue of killing this person. Next time, maybe we should try to do something other than kill them, like maybe just take the coconut away from them. Or rescind future coconuts from their purview. Any questions? Then they all stand out in the sun too long and it shrivels their DNA. I mean, Dragon with cybernetics sounds kind of awesome, Dakota. I'm just saying. Will we ever have an Elder Scrolls lore run? Will we ever have an Elder Scrolls lore run? Let's go to YouTube really quick here. No reason. Elder Scrolls lore run. Huh. Nope, I don't think it's ever going to happen. Here, let me just put this here for no reason. Anyways, back to the game. Something you get used to really, really quickly being any kind of a public figure, even someone as minuscule and irrelevant as I am, is you get used to repeating yourself a lot. I'm not trying to make fun, Carwellis. It really is a truth. It really is something you get used to. It's one of the like 5 pieces of advice I tend to give people when they get into streaming. Get used to repeating yourself. Because every now and again when you get into streaming, you're going to have someone who didn't hear what you said earlier, or doesn't watch all your streams, or wasn't aware of something, or couldn't find something, or honestly just wanted one particular thing and doesn't care about actually bothering to invest themselves in your show. They just want this one little dinky little thing. So they ask about it. They don't look for it. They don't put any time or effort into actually finding it. They just say, please tell me about this. That's life. I don't know if you've ever seen this, but some of the larger streamers out there, they don't repeat themselves. Mostly because they don't actually engage with their audience. They don't care, for lack of a better way to put that. I don't know. I do like giving gameplay negatives for arbitrary reasons. Negative to runner. Well, that's a lot of shattered glass. Oh, God. I thought about just once, just for like one stream, doing a bit where I only respond to people if they donate. But first of all, I couldn't think about a way to convey that properly. That it is a joke, and that I'm just kind of showing off how horrible that would be. Because the second part of the problem there is that it would actually be pretty horrible. It would suck. It would not be an entertaining stream. Which, of course, the reason I'm even bringing that up is there are streamers who do exactly that. Spoilers, they're not entertaining streams. I was actually thinking about this recently. Big streamers are like Burger King. Or rather, just to put it simply, are like fast food, right? Because I know you love analogies, Evo. They're, you know what you're getting into. It can be good or bad, it kind of depends on the specific fast food you're getting. But it's always just going to be kind of not quite the same as a more custom experience with an individual, like going to a local burger joint. You go to a local burger joint, it's not going to be as... Honestly, it's probably not going to be as clean. It's not going to be as corporate. It's not going to be as sanitized. You won't get the same kind of experience there because those people are just there to make some boigas and sell them. Yeah, it's a little more niche. However, in my opinion, and I know this is a roundabout way of trying to praise myself, but I don't mean it that way. In my opinion, I'd rather have the local burger joint than the Burger King. Because even though it's more expensive and it's more niche, it's kind of better in every other way, you know?
Hey, Spyro, we need those flags to prove our secret mission was successful. But the flag keeper keeps stealing them. If you can knock the flag keeper down, you could bring the flags back. My secret decoder ring says that this power-up thing should help you.
Difficulty 5 stars. Great! Yeah, some of you have been around long enough to remember that I tend to refer to my streams as trout-flavored yogurt. Which is, an odd analogy, but I stand by it. I suppose I should explain that one a little bit. So, trout-flavored yogurt, it's a reference to Earthbound. The trout-flavored yogurt is actually the English translation. In Japanese, it's referring to, I believe it's strawberry-flavored... oh god, what's it called? It's the bean thing you get instead of meat. Tofu, thank you. Strawberry-flavored tofu. But either way, the point is, it's considered a very random, niche thing that only a few people like, and there's the analogy. No matter how good you are at making strawberry-flavored tofu, or trout-flavored yogurt, at the end of the day, your audience size is limited by the fact that you make trout-flavored yogurt. I came to grips with that years ago. I'm cool with that, mostly because I can afford to pay the bills. If I wanted to be big, I wouldn't be doing this. Alright, so flag carriers. Oh, actually, remember. That sounds terrible, Golvike. Oh my god.
Spyro, you make a great secret agent. Now Handel and I can complete our mission. By the way, you can have this talisman. I stole it when the soldiers weren't looking.
Oh, that's cool looking. Oh yeah, it's really easy to make clickbait. There's a literal formula for it. It is extraordinarily easy to make clickbait. A lot of people make fun of clickbait, but the truth is, a lot of people fall for it because all you really have to do is piss the people off. I know that sounds random, but I mean that with total sincerity. That is the catch. That's the key.
So, you want that flag, eh, Dragon? Well, two can play at this bombing game. Let's go!
Before I hit yes on this, I just want to finish my thought. The whole point of clickbait, real clickbait, as opposed to joking or memeing clickbait, is to try and, outrage. That's a great word for it. To try and outrage the viewer. To make them click out of curiosity, or disagreement, or distaste, or anger, or whatever. The moment you click on that, the moment you have agreed to look and see, okay, I gotta see what this is, or, oh no, they're incredibly wrong about that, the moment is the moment they have succeeded. And everything else you do on top of that just adds to their success. If you decide to leave a comment saying how wrong they are, that you've given them more engagement. If you decide to actually allow the ads to play because you don't have an ad blocker, they win. And of course, all of this drives engagement, which makes them get more views because it's very circular on YouTube and yada yada yada. Like I said, there's a literal formula for it. Oh, wow.
Oh.
Yeah, the best way to combat that kind of clickbait is to literally not engage with it at all. Just not at all. Yeah, the problem... The problem is, let's say for a moment that I share with you a picture. It is a cute, adorable, fluffy kitten. And you look at that and you go, aww. Now let's say I share with you a cute, adorable, fluffy kitten, which is being, like, I don't know, treated meanly by someone.
Still after my flags, dragon?
Based on how most social media, this Twitter does this, YouTube does this, Facebook does this, you are more likely, statistically speaking, to respond more to the second, not the first. You will share it more because you need other people to see how bad this is, or how much this sucks, or how much that person sucks, or can you believe this thing happened? You will look at it more. You're more likely to actually watch the whole thing. You're more likely to give it a negative vote. You're more likely to actually comment on it. In terms of raw metric data, there is more engagement in negativity than positivity, and that's the problem.
You're so close, Spy.
Yeah, exactly, Space Cadet. I mean, that's not even a new trend. It's the reason why newspapers started going that route decades ago. And then television, and then online. I hate to say it, but this really is nothing now. Where is he? Oh, there he is.
You won't get my last flag so easily, Purple Beast.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. So that's, the other side of that is, of course, what I just shared was something really, really obvious. Most people are going to be upset about a kitten being hurt. But hang on, we can actually go another step above that in terms of engagement. All I have to do is say something like, say, The Last Jedi sucks. Or even more generically, Star Wars sucks. That's all you have to do to move up from level 2 negativity to level 3 negativity. Because now, not only will I get all the people who are like, oh, you're wrong, oh, you're stupid, yada, 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 but then some people will argue with those people. Some people look at that and share that and be like, look at all these people blowing up over this obvious clickbait. Or, look at all these morons who actually like Star Wars. Or, how dare you get upset over a random YouTube video. Or, how dare you actually like Star Wars? Why are you a child? Engagement, engagement, engagement. It's ridiculous. It's one of the biggest reasons why I tend to be against the very idea of engagement as a concept. To continue with the analogy trend, because I know how much people love analogies, it's like trying to measure how much food you have by volume and no other metric whatsoever. And then realizing at some point along the line that, I don't know, watermelons, that's a dumb... Something that's cheap and large volume is the largest volume food, and therefore is the only food that you should value. I don't know, balloons, maybe? Bread, there you go.
Great
Bad
job,
bread.
Spyro. How can we repay you for your efforts? How about this ore that I found in the sand?
Not only do I like it, Evo, I love it! You're probably wondering, hold on, Laura. If all that's true, why are you giving those groups attention? First of all, because I'm not. One of the best defenses against all that cycle of bullcrap is knowledge. Knowing how that system works is the defense to combating it. Understanding how that is, and simply refusing to engage in it, is how we're going to eventually defeat that cycle. Minuscule step by minuscule step. There we go. 100%. If it's too late by then, don't worry, I'll have conquered the world by then. Human society is a constant trend of getting better over time. So, yeah, I do think we can overcome this. But Blade Terval is quite correct. In order to beat psychological manipulation, you need to understand psychology. Why do you think I got so much into it back in the day? What? What? I mean, if you want to legitimately argue with me, Ek, that life is worse now than it was 400 years ago, I'm afraid we're going to just have to look at each other with our eyebrows raised. And then, like there'll be a rumbling storm in the distance, as the sparks and threads dissolve all reality with the fierceness of our competition. And then I'll feed you to Evo. I'm still with, I keep being with the so-called bad guys in these stages. Yeah, then you just hear the boss music fire up. Oh, 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 oh. Just the Dark Souls music starts firing up. Ect walks out, plunges his hand into his own chest, and rips out his beating heart, which he then squishes, and the blood, as it's flying out, crystallizes into this massive, like, spiked mace thing, which he then flings out, and there's this chain, which is consistent of arteries, which slams into the ground. And he just starts... And I'm like, oh, Jesus, okay. And I'm just down here with a frickin' spear.
Well, hello there, Mr. Dragon. You're pretty cute for a quadruped. I wish I could take you on a tour of our temple, but a bunch of lousy earth shapers have encased it in stone.
And then a fire giant shows up, rips off his own leg, and dies. God, that was the best moment of that entire run. That was so perfect.
For releasing me. There are still some more satyrs trapped in stone.
Oh, God. Just joy. Just thinking about it even now brings a smile to my face. Yeah, and it's been patched out, so if we had played Elden Ring too much later, we would have never seen it. A lot of things weak to fire here. It's weird. So for those of you not aware, I should explain this. We were playing Elden Ring, and there's this giant fire giant of death. And it was a reasonably fun, interesting, difficult boss fight. And then he hit phase 2, and I'm sitting there like bracing myself. And during the transition phase, he rips off his own leg, removing his mobility, but then he's gonna start beating me to death with his own leg. Very metal. And then the moment the entire lengthy animation of him ripping off his leg and transitioning to phase 2 happens, he dies instantly. And I'm just like... And as chat at the time pointed out, if you think about it, it's actually a very logical consequence of what he did. I'm pretty sure that was clipped, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure because I know we didn't get a highlight reel of the Elden Ring thing, but it was so good. Well, one's male and one's female, Evo. Also, pigs are delicious. Still, I'm pretty sure someone clipped that. If you just look for clips from Elden Ring by me, it's probably in there somewhere. Yeah, I know, right? Jaded Font, who knew? Who knew? Uh-oh, it's Tiny Hippo. Okay, everyone, if you start to see bubbles forming, or their ears flapping, be careful. Was that Tsushima, Dakota? Why are we so evil? Well, these are the delicious humans, Evo. I mean pigs. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. 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 I should probably stop. I'll get copyright. I am not immune to lava, no. It's like they know. In their final seconds of their fleeting existence, they know what's about to happen to them. And they just sort of accept it. Guess I'll die now. Well, I'm depressed. I thought this was supposed to be a light, happy, silly game, Mr. Red. Is this secretly a metal game? Be honest with me. This is the Dark Souls of Spyro games. As long as we don't get a metal girlfriend, I'm okay with it. Well, we've murdered a bunch of people. Sorry, goth girlfriend, my bad. I guess we're gonna go this way because there's nowhere else to go, except that's just lava death. Alright, what extremely obvious thing am I missing? It's always something extremely obvious. Every time I get stuck like this. Like, I either need to kill more... free more goats or kill more things. Anything, Mr. Red. Anything whatsoever. I cannot seem to do a thing. The golems are all dead. And I have access to nothing else. I can't get through that door. I can't get through that lava thing. So... it is now impossible to notice that there's a... It's always something stupid. It's always something so stupid. Every time. Super mega hard boss? No problem. Insane section? Not a chance. Ridiculous platforming? Nuh-uh. Couldn't find out where the tiny ledge was to progress? Impossible.
It's great to be free. Now there's only one satyr left to rescue.
Name's Bob. Don't make fun of him for it. He's rather sensitive.
Oh, dragon! Perhaps you can help. My friend is locked in this room and lost the key. Do you know how hard it is to find a locksmith at this time of night?
Is that a Men in Tights reference? I usually hear it said satyr, so I'd go with satyr as well. I don't know if that's correct, and honestly, I don't care all that much.
Now that you have rescued all the satyrs in Fracture Hills, you ought to explore the temple.
Of Doom. I mean, Doom. You go inside. So if you're referring to the paid demo, I wasn't a fan of the fact that it was a paid demo. However, it's the best part of the game overall. Make of that what you will. Yeah, we got a level agility. I really need to just grab that song so I can have it on demand if I need it. Oh. Well, I have no idea at that point, Act. I don't have good things to say about Metal Gear Solid 5 narratively, but I'm told it's good gameplay-wise. Not a fan of what they did story-wise, though. I have played this game before, but only this version. I never played the originals on the PS1. I was a plebe. Didn't really get into the PlayStation. In fact, I think I have bought more PlayStation games for the show than I ever owned back when I had a PlayStation. But let me think about that. So back in the day, I had Mega Man 8, X4, X5, and X6, as well as Breath of Fire 3, and FF7, 8, 9, and Soten. So however many I just said. And that was it. That was my PS1 collection. Nowadays, I'm pretty sure I own over double that, so I think I'm good. You know, if you guys would stop trying to kill me, I'd stop kicking you into the lava. I'm just saying. There is such a thing as live and let live. Brand new concept. They just invented it. Sweden. Bye, Sweden. I mean, Finland. They're all the same, anyways. Okay, so let's do this now. Yeah, it's all Europe. The country of Europe. Stop screwing with me. I already hate whatever that is.
Goodness, you broke that door down for me. I thought I'd be stuck in here forever. I found this fancy orb in here. Please, take it.
I can't believe I saved that, to be completely honest. Okay.
I've been experimenting with a new potion. I'd like to try it out, but the Earth Shapers have made going out a bit difficult. Could you kindly offer me an escort?
I'd rather not.
Great! Just keep those Earth Shapers away from me, and I'll take this potion to Hunter.
Okay. Well, anyways, peace. Nice knowing ya.
Will you escort me? Okay.
Damn it, dragons are too terrifying. What do we do? Let's get rid of them entirely. I like it. Alright, so now I'm going to answer Evo's question now that she's gone. Let's see. So the hegemony. Fascinating organization, really. No preference, random. Legitimately. I have no preference between a 20-hour game, a 200-hour game, or a 2-hour game. There's only one thing that matters to me in terms of game design, and I think you know what it is. Can anyone chat? Tell me what it is. I don't know why I'm going with a weird tone when I say this. Can you tell me? No, for real though. Can you tell me what I care about in game design? Hot waifus. That's it. That's the thing. Yeah, density of quality content.
Oh, hi, Dragon Boy. You're probably expecting me to say, "You're my hero. Thanks for saving poor, helpless little me." Sorry, short stuff. I was only in here because I like the peace and quiet. Anyway, the other fawns wanted me to give you this talisman.
Sure. But yeah, I'm not trying to be snarky, random. I mean that with total sincerity. I don't actually care how long a game is, really. It's helpful to know for scheduling purposes. But at the end of the day, what I care about is how good the game is. So, time to burn some people to death. No, nobody seems to care that we're a dragon, including our enemies. Oh, Jesus, random. Well, which one's better, random? I mean, honestly, when we get to the WoW run, you'll start to see how much I don't care about the length of a game as long as it retains quality throughout. Once we get to Kata. So hold on. So should I do his thing and then Hunter's thing? Or should I do Hunter's thing and then hit... Like, how should I do this? How should I do this? Yeah, Ripto's the only one who gives a damn that we're a dragon. It's weird.
Just stand still, he says. I'll turn your boots to gold, he says. Oh, hi, Spyro. You're a sight for sore eyes. I'd appreciate it mightily if you could locate that alchemist. He owes me a favor.
Ah, okay.
Will you escort?
You know you can just go right there, right? Like he's right, turn left. Turn left! Oh my god. Why are you going over here? There's no reason to go over here. Where are you going? Why are you circling around now? What possible...
Will you escort me past? Okay.
Fun to see. $200 quests and some gems. Oh yeah, I need to figure out how to get through these. There are no thieves in this game so far. That is a big improvement, make no mistake. There's no way I can do that. I'm gonna make one more attempt at this, and then I'm just gonna move on to the next world. There we go. And we failed miserably at the easy jump, because of course we do. Very on brand for us. What I'm really curious about is if Spyro 3 is going to be better. Oh, come on, game. Ah. There we go. What's weird is I find it difficult to really contrast Spyro 1 and 2, because they're just very different in how they try to do everything. Yeah, I agree with that assessment, Malcor. This game definitely has more design than 1. It's just... there's the usual problem with that. It's like we talk about with regards to longer games. I know, we just talked about that. Longer games have more opportunities to do good, but they also have more opportunities to do bad. Those poor golems. And then they mind control them. Why is this game so dark? Not the Balverines.
Oh, Spyro, hello! I'm having trouble with this door, but I think some orb power might unstick it. Ah, I see you've collected a good number of orbs there.
1 or 2. Magna Cone. That sounds like fun. I'll come back to that. Ugh, what?
I can let you into the little castle over there in exchange for a few gems. What do you say? No one's been through that portal in years. I never thought I'd find a sucker. I mean, you're a shrewd customer, Spyro.
It's even called shady, for God's sakes. No. No.
It's a good thing you're here. I've been trying to get a berry out of this magic berry bush, but I'm just not strong enough. If you charge or flame the bush, one of those yummy berries should drop.
Did he just straight up murder someone? Tails, I didn't know you had it in you. I did. Thank you. Why do they have this acidic pool of death here? I think she'd like Spyro 1 right up until she had her first interaction with a thief, which she would hate more than I do. And she would probably never finish it because she would absolutely despise the last boss, even more than I do. Damn it, the sun is not responsible for everything, Hazardous. Except for that. No evil dragons in the Spyroverse, huh? And how do you explain Spyro? Good God, that's awful, Benny. Was that the 2008 one that kind of killed the franchise? Yeah, Spyro is predisposed towards evil. It's not his fault. He was just drawn that way. Ah, the 2002 one that killed the franchise. Excellent. I'm guessing Hero's Tale was also PS2 in the era. I think what amuses me most, Rex, is we have literally decades.
Thanks for helping me reach the Great Berry Bush. Now we can eat berries all the time. Here, take this. It's a gift from all of us hippos.
Thanks, Tiny Hippo. One of the things I find funny is we have decades.
Spyro, 3 thieves have stolen our...
That's nice. Decades of evidence and information. Concrete, undeniable, unavoidable information of games sucking because of rushing to meet some kind of stupid deadline. Or being rushed out the door unfinished, or whatever. And yet, people still do it. And you're probably thinking, oh, so you mean like in the NES era, right? No, look up the Atari era for some information on that. In the 70s. I call it the Atari era. There were actually a whole lot of different consoles at that point in time. It's not like nowadays where there's, 3. Back then there were close to like 15. A lot of Drek was shoved out the window. A lot of quickly. I mean, if I... You ever heard of the phrase, the exception that proves the rule, Tiny Hippo? Also, I disagree with that entire philosophy, if I could be blunt for a second. The idea of... E.T. is rather infamous, which is funny, because it's actually not the worst example of that. But, I think it's funny, because an enormous number of people follow through with the, the less you have, the better the product you're going to make. And I've actually heard people... What? Heard people make the argument that publishers and executives should actually restrict budgets and time more than they do in order to shove necessity forward, in order to force developers to make good games. Which, I don't agree with, I think is the nicest way I can phrase that. Yeah, what was it, like 10 minutes ago we mentioned there's no thieves in Spyro 2? I bring it up, Tiny Hippo, because every time I hear someone mention that idea, necessity is the mother of invention, or innovation, or what do you want to call that, I tend to push back against it a little bit, because obviously there is some logic there. But I think too many people take it too much as like a hard rule of reality, that less you have, more better. Actually, no, I can't, Trihexia. Still can't charge and breathe at the same time. one of my counter arguments is always that the reason that those creative and talented people put out some good works while they were limited isn't because they were limited, it's because they were creative and talented people. It's a common counter argument I tend to give to that. And yeah, obviously there are going to be exceptions, duh, right? Sometimes you have to compromise, sometimes you have to hold back, and sometimes that leads to something much better than what you were intending to make. That's life. But still, it's worth noting, and there's two excellent examples that were just mentioned in chat. Star Trek II and Star Wars 4. Both of those films had massively limited budgets and were kind of operating off of just the seat of their pants in so many different ways and couldn't do what they wanted to do. So they got creative and talented and had some very creative and talented and innovative people get involved in, hey, they bit together something great. But again, they were creative and talented people. And yeah, to go back to what somebody mentioned earlier, I think personally that if Jurassic Park was operating under the shoestring budget of Star Wars, it would have bombed. My opinion. Yeah, that's... all those T-Rex scenes, gone. Or much, much worse. Every now and then I'm going to have to remind myself that Jurassic Park came out in the mid-90s, because it is nothing short of astonishing what they were able to accomplish with the tech at the time. Although, again, they had everything backing them, which was kind of my overall point here. So let's see. Daring Rescue. I don't know. I think they're both equally daring, Zucktaft. Yeah, Terminator 1 did have a shoestring budget, and if we're being honest, it actually shows. I don't know how many of you have gone back to rewatch Terminator 1. It's certainly iconic, but,
Spyro, my brothers have been trapped in solid rock. I'm afraid you'll need to learn some kind of head bash move before you can help us.
Okay. Yeah, everyone remembers T2 for a reason. And part of this, too, depends on the creative people involved. Some teams actually work better when they are limited. That is a true statement. And then some teams work better when they have resources, which is also a true statement. So it kind of depends on, more than just all creative people ever. I will admit, I'm not much of a limited resources kind of person. Everything you've ever seen me do has been a compromise by virtue of not being able to do what I wanted to do. And it all sucks. So I think I've made my point on that front. Hell, even the ruminations, that was because I didn't have a method of doing anything else of what I was thinking about at the time.
Thanks for bringing back the 3 magic lamps. Here, take this orb. Some fairy left it with me, but it won't hold a proper shine.
Exactly. I don't mean to go off on a massive tangent here. It's just, it's interesting to think about. And like I said, it's something I try to push against regularly. I dislike the idea of adhering to the concept that always having less will always be better, which for some reason, there's just that narrative. Okay, that's what I thought. I believe so, Loner, yeah. I'm not sure the timeline exactly, so don't quote me. I think I might be done here for the time being. Because I'm only missing the gems in there, and then a thing I can't actually do yet. So, alright. I think I'm going to codify that negative. I really don't like that level design approach. Okay. Strange. Oh, wow. Predates Alien. Yeah, go ahead, Act. I'm ready. I'm ready. Strike me down. I hated the song in the last level. The music in 2 hasn't exactly been bad, but there's been 2 songs so far, both of which have been today, which have just made me go, ah, as we've been going through them.
Would you like me to take you to a world where you can find a new talisman?
No.
Okay.
Thanks. Honestly, only one song really sticks out for me in the first game. It's the one in the starter area.
I would love to let you enter this speedway free of charge, Spyro. Love to. Unfortunately, the speedway rules require me to charge a small fee.
Okay.
You've chosen wisely. I bet a quick dragon like you will win your money back in no time.
Time to hate myself. Alright, so we've got people and people. Oh, geez. Okay, hang on. So, we got archers. Just need to go near Moneybags, but like, I wonder what boar tastes like. What do you mean? Oh, I mean exactly what I said. Okay. I'll tell you right now, these are going to be my problem. We got the flyers, and we've got the jets they're attached to, and that's just going to suck. The capital. Ugh. Okay, apparently. No, there he is. I know I missed one. Why this stupid face? Alright, this is horrific. Then there's the sea dragons. Gotta have sea dragons. Very important. I mean, Moneybags is much worse than Filthy Rich. Filthy Rich is actually a pretty decent dude. Spoiled Milk, however, is awful, but still has potential for improvement, whereas Moneybags is just worse in every way. So. In both cases, Moneybags is still worse. Dang it. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's it is. Several times, yes, Mr. Red. I think. I'm actually not sure if I've hit the clip button when you have it, now that I'm saying that out loud. I don't know. But there's been several times where I've demonstrably been like, oh, hey, this is a clip moment. Tab. Listen, filthy is just... We don't accept filthy language on Twitch, apparently. It should be showing up on the VOD. Like, it's not being filtered on my end. Okay, I was apparently supposed to get sea serpents on the way. I was expecting a little bit more than that. So leave arches for last, huh? So I suppose that would mean getting these guys first. These guys are absolutely all over the place. Oh my god, what am I missing? What am I missing? I missed an arch somewhere. I didn't even see it. This game and everything about it. Anybody who makes me play this game needs to be brutally murdered. We're gonna keep doing this first, I think. I'm gonna do this next instead. That's a good question. How do we murder someone who makes me play this game? I'm thinking death by donuts. That feels like the best option. Here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna find a big old package of donuts. And they're gonna be delicious. And you're gonna eat them. And only then will you realize the harsh truth. Those donuts actually contain the ground-up remains of Vladimir Putin. I was going exactly that direction, but I couldn't think of his name, Loner, so I just replaced it with the first person I could think of. Oh, there you go. There. Actually, I like Blade Chaval's idea better. These donuts are so good. Yes, please, Mr. Red. These donuts are so good, and you will never find them again. They're just that good. So picture this, Evo. You can have the best donuts ever, but it's a unique experience and you will never have them again. Here. Oh, here we go. I have found an igloo. Even something inside the igloo. There's like a... There's Hunter in the Hunter, what are you doing?
Good job, Spyro. Looks like you're ready for a more serious challenge. How about a little paragliding? You're not afraid of heights, are you? Great! I'll tow you behind my snowmobile, and you maneuver through the rings. Don't miss any or we'll have to start over.
I hate you. controls weirdly. Also, paragliding is awesome. While we're on the subject. Like, it's really easy to go all right or all left. But not so much in the middle. And that's not even a politics joke.
Hey, great.
Who's the greedy salesman, Triaxia?
Way to go, Spyro. You're even better than I am.
Yes, I am. No, I cannot even. There's the answer to your question. I mean, in all honesty, that is the real answer. Well, I probably know Felwreath better than you. You know everything else better than I do, Evo. So, the person who can answer that question is you. So who's worse, Hunter or Moneybags? Well, Moneybags is greedy, immoral, rarely goes out of his way to profit off of a situation in which if he actually assisted us, he himself would profit. So he's double dipping. So I would still say Hunter is worse.
Oh. Oh. No. Oh. Oh.
That's not funny.
Hello, Spyro. I suppose you're here for the party. I'm afraid it's been cancelled because the stupid Earth Shapers set off the volcano.
If you'd stop playing that terrible music and mind controlling them. I believe the saying is, oh, he died. Isn't that so funny? No, because it's still part of the same kids show thing, Mr. Red. However, I'm getting much more likely to give that kids show negative, because it's starting to detract from my enjoyment of the narrative, which is the definition of a negative. I know, he's just such a bad cook. Ah. Oh, kill me. favorite black humor joke. So I want you to imagine, you know how they've got people who work on, like, skyrises and whatnot? Or skyscrapers, stuff way up high, right? And there's this picture of a dude. And he's smiling. He's got a noose around his neck, tied around to the thing. And he's like... And there's a little sign right next to him that says, make sure you have your safety rope equipped at all times. I guess that does qualify as a suicide joke? Sure, we'll call that a suicide joke. Oh no, they totally have done it before, Mr. Red. All the time. What? Sure, Hazardous. Well, obviously it was successful. Ah, I see it now. What is this music? Oh, I've actually heard that joke before, but it's still funny. I'm gonna share that one out loud, if you don't mind, Hazardous. Man decides to kill himself. So he goes to lay down on the railroad tracks and wait for the train. Then 3 days later, he dies from dehydration. I don't believe you, Mr. Red. Yeah, let's hear the original. Maybe that'll change my mind. Funny, I preferred the music in 1 for the... universally from the perspective of the reignited music. But yeah, we might actually have better music in 2 from the classic version. Lol, Mike Kamano. Worse, Triaxia. They were British. Now, if they were Swiss trains, whew, that guy would have been dead in seconds. Could have gotten out there and at 3:15 and 25 seconds. Ugh. I mean, prefer is a strong word, but it is less objectionable, yeah. I still don't like the moaning, but it's way less irritating. Like by a huge factor. If you went to go lie on a Japanese train, he'd stare at the map, trying to figure out which route goes where and when. Until he died of dehydration. Good question, Act. I usually rely on math for that kind of thing, though. Since all music is math, obviously. But that's kind of the answer. I know that's a piddling answer, but it's a truthful one. I have to see it as a formula.
Well, if it isn't my best customer, the elevator in the next room can take you to the volcano. You can have unlimited use of the elevator for a one-time fee of only a few gems.
200 gems. I think my favorite part about flaming him is he goes to protect the bag of gems, and not himself. His delicious, delicious bear flesh. That almost sounds like an interesting... Oh, what do they call that? When the fantastical is banal, kind of a thing, Dakota? You know, there's this big, powerful dragon. Oh my god. I will slay the dragon for you. Big fight. Oh, we killed the dragon. Whew. Alright, I'll split the proceeds with you, 50-50. And like the dragon slayer and the dragon are in cahoots. Yes, Evo. That is literally what's happening here. Wait, that's already a thing? God damn it. Damn you, existing fiction.
Thanks for closing the lid on the volcano, Spyro. Things were getting a little too hot around here. By the way, here's a talisman I was saving for the party later. I think you deserve it more.
Alright, hang on. I got another idea I'm gonna toss out here. Mercenary Dragon's an awesome idea, but hear me out. WWE with dragons.
Hey, Spyro! You're just in time for the party! Well, you would be if those nasty lava monsters hadn't stolen our hats. It just won't be the same without party hats.
I was thinking dragons against other dragons, personally. What in... And we're dead. Cool.
Hey, Spyro. You're just in...
Shoot down the lava monsters. Okay. Great. Ah! Happy Turkey Recovery Day, Maverick. Oh, God. If this was timed, I swear to God. Let's see. So we've got mashed potatoes, stuffing, green bean casserole, cranberry something. Help me out. What else are the classics? The answer is, of course, corn, but... Sweet potatoes, yep. Gotta have sweet taters. Little easy so we don't screw it up, especially since we have only 1 health right now. So any screw up will be completely fatal. Oh yeah, I guess rolls too. I haven't had rolls at a Thanksgiving dinner in a long time though. Where's the last guy? Where are you, random lava dude? Ah, there you are. Die, lava dude. Hey, Trinius. Whoop. Oh. Ah. You have fun. Because if you don't...
Thanks, Spyro. You saved the party. Here, this got mixed in with the cheese balls, and I almost chipped a tooth on it.
I mean, I like the idea of literally having to burn Horde in order to use dragon powers to go at us, so that's probably my knee-jerk thought there. Yeah, dragons are literally pay to win, you know. I hate to be boring, but I think I'm going to go with mashed potatoes. Even though that's not my favorite dish of the stuff we have, but none of the stuff we have is the typical stuff, so... How do you tax one horde? It's not like the dragons keep receipts. Down and in. Right, I haven't gone in yet. In was over here, wasn't it? I am so sick of this song already. This is 2 songs in a row. I really hate it. It's not live, apparently. I can do sweet potatoes. I don't really have a preference between the two. Kind of depends on my mood. That being said, I usually have a harder time eating larger quantities of sweet than regular. So I suppose for that reason I'd lean towards regular. Oh, this is what I wanted to see. This is my life, is seeing Hunter with 2 mini-games I have to do. This is joy and wonder and splendor in the universe. Is this asshole?
Hey, Spyro. Check out this cool cave I found. Let's play a little game. Every so often, a piece of this crystal popcorn pops out of the ground. The first one to grab 10 of them wins.
Cool.
When you are.
Come on, game. Now, this reminds me of a Banjo-Kazooie thing, actually. Or Banjo-Tooie. I forget which one it is, but you probably know the one I'm talking about. God, I turn so slowly.
Okay, you win. Here's an orb.
Yeah, how many of you have heard the whole Mr. Vile song? How many of you care?
I'll give you another orb if you can beat me again. Let's play to 15 this time. What do you say?
What's funny is so there's the version they tend to sing at events, which is censored, and then there's the version they sing in private, which is filled with cuss words.
I'm ready when you are.
I disagree with that. But, you know, hitboxes are hard. It's okay, I understand. Programming is difficult. I will acknowledge this. Listen, Hunter, I just want you to know that I hate you personally, okay? Like, you realize he just has these orbs that we need for the quest that he himself is not only directly responsible for, but is also part of the, like, quest-giving group.
You're really good. I'm gonna have to come up with some harder games. For now, I'll take this orb.
And he is the one trying to challenge us to random games for the things we need to save him. So, Zilog, 2 things. 3 things. Hi. He hasn't been saying much in this game, which is weird. Thing number 2. You might find this funny. Last night, this morning, I woke up early, accidentally. And I had a random idea about how to automate the clipping process, or rather the timestamping process to be more accurate. And I was thinking, man, if only Zilog could help me with that. But alas, I realized that you could never help me with such a thing, so I did it myself. So that requires the head thing, that requires the head thing, so yeah. So I just need to go that way. And the third and final thing is I would like you to immediately get rid of any ideas of doing that database idea I posited yesterday, because I thought about it for a minute, and I decided it's a terrible idea and I don't want to do it. Yeah, so far Spyro's only spoken during the intro. Oh my god, Spyro. Oh, that's why. During Spyro, during the intro, and during the first boss fight. So I'm sitting here wondering, why can't I go down? Like, it's not accepting my input for some reason. I'm very stranged out by this. But it's because the Steam window had already popped up, but I couldn't see it yet. So I was technically already alt-tabbed. It just hadn't acknowledged the thing that I was alt-tabbed to yet. So I'm just thinking, like, why can't I go down? So I've heard of one of these games, Random. Thank you, Random. Okay, we're back. We're back in the game. There we go. We can move again. We did it. We can't. Oh god, how do we get off? There we go. Hey! We did it. Oh, this game. Yeah, Spyro has been replaced by his animal buddies in the kitty hour. Well, like I said, I've heard of Spirit Fair. I've never heard of... I've already forgotten the name of it. I assume one or both of these are your pick, Random? Question mark. No. Okay.
Well done, Spyro. Now that you have all 14 talismans, your guidebook can break the lock on the door, and you can fight Gulp. Are you ready? You'll have to jump down the hole in the floor to get to where Ripto and Gulp are waiting. I can help you out a little bit. I tamed some pterodactyls from Skylos Badlands. They'll be dropping in objects that you can use to fight Gulp.
Gulp, we finally made Avalar ours. You've earned a special reward. Gulp, what is it, boy? Oh, the fairy. Here you go.
Were you about to feed a fairy? Oh, I don't even.
You singed my cape! Dragon, you are really starting to get on my nerves! Say goodbye, flame breath! Gulp! Lunchtime!
Where did he get the cannons?
Gulp, finish him off and you can have all the berries you can eat! I'm going to enjoy this.
All the fairies you could eat, huh? That sounds extremely messed up. Actually, the more you think about it, the more messed up it sounds. Fairies are sentient, sapient creatures that, you know, talk, interact with, and have lives and movie preferences. Well, fairies like The Last Jedi, so I think we know what has to happen to them. And we're dead. Those are weirdly hard to dodge. Hey, Gulp. Gulp. You, And on that bombshell,